What's going on? How are you doing? My name's David, and today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my top 3 beat mixing plugins that are completely free. I'll put the link in the description so you could check them out. But before we get into it, I want to remind you to hit the subscribe button, also hit the like button, and leave a comment telling me what your go-to plugins are. So I have this beat here. It's pretty much done. I'm going to play it for you guys. This is just so you could get the feel of the beat. That's pretty much it right there. It's just loops. I just need to structure it. First plugin that I'm going to show you is a plugin that I love using, especially like on my melodies, whether it be vocals or piano or just anything in general that just sounds too clean. Like for example, these vocals, they sound a little too clean that I just want to dirty them up a little bit. I know it contradicts and it's kind of like, why? But you'll see. So the first plugin is a plugin by Isotope. It's called Isotope Vinyl. I know this plugin is very popular to give you that noise, that dirtiness to some vocals, and I'm just going to show you how to use it. It's pretty self-explanatory. You got the mechanical noise, which is this. It's just kind of some air. You got some wear, so when you play it, for example, like this, it just pretty much wears out the signal and what's going into the vinyl. Now the next thing is the electrical noise, and with that you just want to be careful. You don't want to add too much. You just kind of want to be gentle with it. And the next thing is the dust. Now I love using dust just because it adds that grittiness. I like adding a good amount where you could hear like the popping. Now next thing is the scratch. I rarely use it. I don't really like using it that much just because of what it does to the signal. So I'm gonna skip that one. Now next thing is the warp depth. Now I love using this because you could just mess with these little buttons here and they're all gonna do something different to the signal. So I'll play them for you. And it's pretty much, the warp is just pretty much taking the vocal and it's giving it its own little slope. It shows you what it does to it. And for this particular beat, this is the one that I like. You don't have to use it. And then the cool thing about it is you could put the certain percentage so you know how much of it you're using. And then here you got the model year. So pretty much if you want it to sound like early 2000s, 1980s, 70s, 60s, 50s, or 30s, you can mess with that. So I'll play them. Now from what I get from it, it just kind of adds more bass to the signal. So like the more back you go, the less bass there is. And then from 2000, and I'll probably say from the 60s up, they added more bass. That's what I could get. Mess with it and find out what works best for you. The next plugin that I want to show you that is pretty dope, like what it does, and it's Pancake 2 by Cable Guys. Now this plugin's dope just because you're able to really mess with these knobs, and you can see this little line here. That's the signal running through. So when I turn it on, the vocal plugin is going to go from left to right, and you could really do some dope stuff with this. So I'm gonna play it so you could hear how the signal moves. Now I'm gonna overdo it just so you can really hear it. And then the cool thing about it is that you have a mix knob, so you can just drop it straight onto the plugin strip and then do whatever manipulation you want to do, and if it's too much you could just bring the mix down. I think they have some presets you could also use. You could just really go into it and then just mess with the signal. Now this is cool with some hi-hats. You could do like the whole hi-hat trick where you could just like move them everywhere. That's pretty dope too, so you could try that out. And that's the second plugin. Now the third plugin I want to show you that's completely free is Fuzz Plus 3. Now this plugin is by Audio Damage. You've never really heard of this plugin much just because it's kind of, I don't know, no one really talks about it. It's completely free. I'll put the link in the description. Now I love using this on drums, and it's just pretty much a distortion. You have the frequencies, you have the distortion, the res, feedback, and the level. You could drop it completely on your drums, or you could bust it. I personally like busting it because if you put it on the channel strip, it just kind of messes with it a little bit too much. So when you bust, you have a little bit more control. I personally just put the distortion on 100, put the frequencies all the way up, and just use this knob here to bust it. So I'm gonna do it, and it just kind of glues the drums together and just makes everything sound like tight, and just makes everything sound nice. So I'm gonna do that for you. Let me mute the bass. Now this is completely off. Now I'm gonna bring it in. I'm gonna overdo it so you can really hear what it does. Now this plugin, it just glues the drums together. So if you're looking for something to glue your drums, I would go with Fuzz Plus 3 by Audio Damage. I know I said I was going to show you 3 free plugins that I like using when I mix, but I'm going to show you another one. It's also by Isotope, and it's called the Ozone Imager. Now this is dope. I love using this on my percussion, my claps, my hi-hats, open hats, pretty much anything that I want to widen. So I put it on the clap here. Let me solo it, and I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to turn it on. And when I turn it on, what it's going to do, the clap is just going to become wider. So you're going to be able to, pretty much in the stereo field, it's going to widen up. It will get a little bit less loud, but I mean, you can make up with the bringing the fader back up, so it don't really matter. Now this is with the on. It also gives it a different sound, so that's cool if you want to change up the sound of the clap. And then you could just mess with the width if you want to overdo it, or you can put everything in mono. If you just bring it all the way down, you keep everything in the center, so you could just mess with it. I like, this is the amount you stereoize. I usually keep it like around 6. You go all the way up, it's up to you on what, pretty much on whatever instrument you're using it on. So when it comes to Ozone Imager, you could just pretty much use it on everything just to widen everything up. So if you have like hi-hats that you want to widen up, drop this on there and it's dope. So I just wanted to show you my top 3 beat mixing plugins that are completely free. I showed you a 4th one, and that's Ozone Imager by Isotope. I'll put the link in the description so you could check them out and then you could download them. All these plugins are completely free and they are worth getting. They're going to take your beat mixing production to a whole nother level. So I just want to say thank you for watching the video. My name's David. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you keep up to date with the videos that I'm going to be posting, and leave a comment telling me what your beat mixing plugins that you like to use when you mix your beats. I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.